Unresolved problem segment tonight, economics dominated, but there was a gay marriage question directed at Ben Carson.
I believe that our Constitution protects everybody, regardless of their sexual orientation or any other aspect. I also believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, and that there is no reason that you can't be perfectly fair to the gay community. They shouldn't automatically assume that because you believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, that you are a homophobe. And this is one of the myths that the left perpetrates on our society.
Here now to comment, Ebony Williams and Monica Crowley. So that was a good answer, I thought, by the doctor, right?
That was a superb answer, superbly delivered, Bill. And I'll tell you why. Because what Ben Carson did there was hit right at the heart of the left, which is what they do is they go after, they've established this tyranny of thought, which they enforce through intimidation and bullying and terrorizing people to try to get them to think alike and to speak alike. And what Ben Carson said is, I'm not playing that game, and good for him.
And what did you think?
I thought it was a golden moment, Bill, for Dr. Ben Carson. I mean, look, he refuses to be boxed in, and this is where he shines so brightly. I mean, this is a man who is just demonstrating the power of likability. He will not allow anybody, including the media, to put him into this presumption of his position. He will state his full position. He understands the Constitution. He understands equal protection. But he says, look, my religion says it's one man, one woman, but it doesn't make me a homophobe. It was brilliant.
Okay. Do you believe, Ebony, that the majority of Americans who now favor gay marriage in most of the polls would vote for somebody like Ben Carson, even though they may disagree with him on that issue? Because it's an important issue, but it's not the economy, it's not terrorism, it's not ISIS, it's not that, okay?
Absolutely, Bill. I think they would consider it.
So?
Because here's why. He's convicted. This whole narrative that he is pushing all throughout his candidacy of not being PC, he will not be beholden to the regulation of that.
But the left likes PC, don't they?
I don't think
no?
so, Bill.
Oh, I think they love it. They invented it.
They invented it. They define it.
It's like Thomas Edison.
They enforce it with the tactics I just talked about.
Now, they tried to get a marijuana question, and they couldn't, all right?
Well, they're standing there in Colorado.
Yeah.
And it fell flat.
The CNBC guys really wanted desperately to get a marijuana question, but the candidates kind of just love one of these. I think maybe one of them should have addressed it. Kasich did in a roundabout way, saying, look, drugs wreak a really devastation on our society, and he has some innovative programs in Ohio. But there wasn't a lot of social stuff in there.
Now, and what's interesting is I think these Republican candidates are really learning, too, because cycle after cycle, the left-wing media has tried to trap them with questions on abortion and gay marriage and the whole array of social issues when they're there, like they were tonight, to talk largely about jobs and the economy. I mean, you have poll numbers now where 64% of the American people believe the country is on the wrong track. So when they get questions like this, they've learned, to the most part, in how to finesse them, and I think they did a great job. In fact, Ted Cruz had a great joke about marijuana brownies, too, which went over pretty well.
Yeah, all right. Now, here's how Kratheimer rates Ebony. He says Rubio 1, Christie 2nd, Ted Cruz 3rd.
Rubio won. He was the only candidate I gave a solid A to. Carson, what he said wasn't that impressive, but again, the way he said it, he is the people's champ.
Do you have him in the top 3, Carson?
I do.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
And?
Number 2.
I have Rubio, Cruz, and Christie as the big winners. Okay. I think the two leaders, Donald Trump and Ben Carson, I think they stalled a bit tonight, but I don't think they're going to lose any altitude.
Well, Trump wasn't a factor tonight.
Which actually I think helps him. I think it helps him because the debate format is not his forte. It's not his strength. He's better one-on-one, like with you. He's better in big crowds.
But really, should he have gone out for a sandwich, though?
That's the moderator's fault.
Okay.
No, I think he did fine, and I don't think he's going to lose any
Trump
support.
spoke for 9 minutes and 26 seconds. Okay, the most loquacious of them all was Fiorina 10:32, then Rubio 10:10. Kasich got a lot of airtime, 9:42, then Trump 9:26, but it seemed less than that because he didn't say anything new other than he browbeat CNBC into making it a 2-hour debate, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, the best thing Trump did was his closing statement. I thought, circling back to this, on a winner, I can make America a winner. But to Christie, Monica, I think he had a great night if he was running for the Attorney General, though. I think that he
what else is he going to do? He's got to carve himself out. He did it on the police.
Sure,
I
get it.
He's got to do that. He's on tomorrow night too. We got, just so you know, tomorrow we got Trump. All right, we got Carson, and we got Christie.
I'll tell you why Chris Christie's performance tonight was so important, because Jeb Bush essentially imploded tonight.
I mean, what
and
happened
so
to him?
He is the establishment, so he imploded. He went after Marco Rubio. That completely backfired. I happen to think Governor Bush is done, and I think Chris Christie stands to benefit and inherit Jeb Bush's
You think
supporters.
Bush is done, Ebony?
I think Bush is done. He took the low-hanging fruit with the Rubio thing. I thought that
was fruit on stage?
Well, I didn't miss that. Well, here's the thing. Go for Carson, go for Trump, to go for Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I just think that Governor Bush at this point is demoralized.
Yeah,
As I said up top,
sad.
I don't want to be repetition there, but it just looks to me like, he has cool things to do, and
like fantasy football,
whatever it is.
He's a classic establishment candidate in a year when
that's
the
not
voters are
playing.
rejecting that.
Okay, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
We come right back. Britt Hume.